Hi, welcome to the session on certificates and documents that are required to be carried on board merchant ships, in particular the container ships that we are dealing with. This is done with respect to or as per the guidelines on this MSc circular that is in force. So this MSc circular is in SOLAS as well as in MARPOL as we had seen earlier. And also we go by convention as written in my notes, which I can share it with you. I mean, I don't know how, but I will touch base with somebody and then I can share this with you, so it makes it easier. Okay, I hope you have a copy of this with you for easy follow-up of the topics as per mentioned in these pages. Okay, so now I'll try not to end this abruptly like before. I will do my best. Okay, so before I go into this, so whatever that I talked about and the topics which are to come in the days are purely born out of my experience out at sea. And I know for sure my colleagues at sea who take care of these documents and certificates and their associated maintenance in their own unique and excellent ways. So, which ensures that's a fact that is ensuring the movement of almost you all know more than about 90% of the tonnage worldwide pretty smoothly. Yeah, and thank you very much. And we will we will go at it as always that as is expected out of us. Thank you very much. Yeah. So this is just born out of my experience. Right. So the last time it stopped, it got cut at the topic on International Code of Signals and a copy of Volume 3 of IAMSAR Man. Okay, so these are there on board for our communication as well as for our search and rescue operations on board. Yeah, everybody is aware of it, and it's a mandatory one, and it's part of a surveyable item whenever the surveyor comes that they have to be provided on board. They have to be kept updated. Yeah, the next topic is records for pilot ladders used for pilot transfer arrangement. Okay, this is something very uh, a critical, important equipment that needs a lot of attention. Um, Pilot ladders are to be, as per SOLAS, what it says, like SOLAS says that shall be clearly identified with tags or other permanent markings so as to enable identification of each appliances for the purposes of survey, inspection. A record shall be kept on the ship as to the date the identified ladder is placed into service and any repairs effected. Okay. So on container ships, as you all know, we do a lot of protocols compared to bulk carriers and other ships. And the heavily used item, one of the heavily used items on board is our pilot ladder and accommodation ladder. So as we all do, we train our staff to rig the ladder as per the requirements of the SOLAS. Um, I know for sure there are some specific country requirements for ensuring this. Safe boarding of pilots in their waters. One particular one you may be aware of is the Australian regulations that the pilot ladders have to be rigged. There is a circular from the AMSA, and they have to be rigged in the same SOLAS way, and they have to be tested and certified every 30 months. Okay, so that aspect is a bit critical. So the testing, we don't have the full expertise on board to completely test the pilot ladder. Okay, so what is normally done in my previous company is like before 30 months we completely change the pilot ladder with a new one. Yeah, so and one may ask whether, well, the Australians have come out uh, with this regulation for their own safety, or is it not there anywhere? That the pilot ladder expiry date in SOLAS or what? Yeah. So we have this ISO document regarding this pilot ladder, which SOLAS refers to. And in one of these sections and down below, it comes like the pilot ladders have to be tested, proof tested every 30 months. Yeah. So probably the Australian regulations picked out this from there. And then, so it's not too way off that they are saying that pilot ladders have to be renewed every proof tested every 30 months. Or, I mean, since it is very, very critical safeboarding people on board, so we change the ladder altogether. Yeah. Okay. Now, pilot ladders and accommodation ladders, they also have sometimes accommodation ladders, of course, but pilot ladders may have a combination ladder. It's something like a small accommodation ladder. And as we all again know, I mean, container ships, we are busy, we are calling too many ports, and the heavily used, as I said, the equipment, of course, the main engine, yeah, rest of the other navigation equipment too. But accommodation ladder is one which is very heavily used. You know, a lot of longshoremen come, stewardess come to work on the ship, and then yeah, they have to be properly gangbanet has to be in a proper way and all those things. Yeah. So these have to be maintained in a very good condition. So you have spare parts for the wires and spare parts for the sheaves also. Some of the practice that I used to follow is no matter what, every 2 years, check the wire condition. Every 2 years, just renew the wires. And in the process of renewing the wires or every checking the ladder, either combination ladder or the accommodation ladder. Check the sheave conditions also. One must have spare sheaves because they also the groove gets weed out and then the wires will in turn will get damaged. So it's better to renew the sheaves also as deemed fit during your inspections. So that's what we do on it, right? Okay. So that's about the pilot ladders. So rest of the regulations are there, and the pilot ladder poster is there on the bridge, and people are made aware of, and they are trained on also on board. So container ships, they have side doors, and then we used it extensively also. So what we used to do is once the long sailing, say Trans-Pacific or transatlantic, but when it is about to get over, just make sure you can open the doors, because one could have faced a rough weather outside, and then it could be jammed. So just slightly open and then close the door so that you're ready. There are no surprises when you come to the first port of call on the other side. Okay. That's about pilot ladders and pilot transfer arrangement on the ship as per SOLAS regulation chapter 5, 23 subdivisions. Records of navigational activities. Yeah. So the logbook, you need to all ships engaged on international voyages shall keep on board a record of navigational activities and incidents, including drills and pre-departure tests. So we have the logbook. We have to fill up the logbook with whatever happened during the watch, the weather, and it's a standard procedure by now. I mean, all of us we follow this. It's like ingrained in us to fill up the logbook. Yeah. So one of the thing they talk about record of navigational activities is something that is very unique is pre-departure tests. Pre-departure tests of what? Of all equipments and other thing we do before we get underway. Yeah. So, but one of the things is about the steering gear testing. So, pre-departure steering gear test, is which should be conducted as per SOLAS. Yeah. So I will minimize this and I'll go on to what SOLAS says. I would like to show you the steering gear test come under SOLAS chapter regulation 5, I think 26. Yeah. Okay. What does it say? So it's got everything in it that has to be complied with within 12 hours before departure. Yeah. Some of the container ships, maybe we don't have that much time alongside. So that I'll come to that later. So, but what it says, yeah, steering gear within 12 hours before departure, the ship's steering gear shall be checked and tested by the ship's crew. Test procedures shall include, where applicable, operation of the following. So I will take it a little easy. I'll go through that, and I mean, most of you are aware of this. And let's see what is inside. Main steering gear. auxiliary steering gear, remote steering gear control systems, steering positions located on the navigation bridge, both inside as well as on the wings. Yeah. So emergency power supply, rudder angle indicator in relation to the actual position of the rudder. So that we always do. Representative of the engine staff who's there, he makes sure that it responds correctly. The remote steering gear control system power failure alarm, the steering gear power unit failure alarm, and automatic isolating arrangements and other automatic equipment. Yeah. So the checks and the tests shall include full movement of the rudder, yeah, up to its capability, visual inspection of the whole steering gear, and also so what does it mean? Yeah, on container ships, do we have to test the steering gear as per these? Yeah, all these things, before departure, within 12 hours before departure, we need to conduct this. But then container ships, we are so busy. So SOLAS gives you as a way out. It gives us a way out. Where is it? In the subdivision of this regulation, number 5. The administration may waive the requirements to carry out the checks and tests prescribed in paragraphs 1 and 2 for ships which regularly engage on voyages of short duration. Yeah, such ships, very important, such ships shall carry out these checks and tests at least once every week. So we need to comply with this at least once every week. Yeah. Um, uh, Steering a test, and yeah, so this is beyond all the other tests that are carried out prior departure. uh, Probably, I think, once every week it says, so you may have called different ports within 1 week, but that's okay. So the only exception could be some country specific requirement, like the US ports, yeah, where the 33 CFR, I think 33 CFR 164.25. 33 CFR 164.25 specifies very clearly that before you get underway, that you need to test the steering gear, yeah, as per these standards which are mentioned. So just be aware that it is done, and of course, we do carry out all these things on board. Yeah. So that's about records of navigational activities. I don't have to go deep into it, but because this is what we follow day in and day out on board, and your SMS specifically specifies what is to be done for safe navigational watchkeeping, and then the record of such watchkeeping activities in the logbooks. Yeah. Then the next topic is cargo securing manual. Okay. Cargo securing manual, yeah. All cargoes other than solid and liquid bulk cargo units and cargo transport units shall be loaded, stowed, and secured throughout the voyage in accordance with the cargo securing manual as approved by the administration. So we have a cargo securing manual on container ships. All of you are very well. They all are very well aware of it, and it's got the lashing patterns and then. Apart from that, it is always also laminated and then posted probably on the main deck pedestals in both side, yeah, so that it's for ready reference for the stewardess to carry out the lashings as required by the cargo securing manual. And also, it is a class approved document that is to be kept on board. It is also to be updated once you've updated with the inventory of lashing gear that are on board. And we also update this during we renew the lashing pattern for whatever reason. Yeah, like if you have modified the ship structure and included some base, then you got additional things. Yeah. So it says what? So then again, there's another point which says, yeah, well, let's look into it. In ships with ro-ro spaces, as defined in the regulation, okay, that's for the ro-ro ships. All securing of such cargo units, and cargo transport units, uh, uh, in accordance with the cargo securing manual, shall be completed before the ship leaves the berth. Okay, yeah. So That means, yeah, because of the incidents which happened and because of how ISM came into force, yeah, and I had all the free enterprise in 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 the UK in the European waters, yeah, and then with the birth of ISM and all. So this is very clear, yeah. Any of those things before you. Uh, shall be completed before the ship leaves the berth. Right. Okay. So that gives some leeway. Yeah, it looks like it gives some leeway to us. So, for example, one such, I mean, we don't avail of that leeway at all. We make sure at all times lashings are completed, and then certificate is signed, and foreman is released, yeah, for the lashing completion, or held back and tell him to adjust everything, yeah. So that's important, yeah. But in one-off thing, when there can be some circumstances that some are left over, and this happened with a couple of times with me. That was, we were in port of Auckland, and they could not complete on time. So what did they do? And they allowed us to ship to the anchorage and complete the lashing before you hit the Pacific as you come out of the San Francisco Golden Gate, and you hit the swell, you hit everything, and then and more importantly, to give a lead to the pilot, you have to sharply turn, and then at that time you really, yeah. Um, uh, do a lot of dancing around. So, but at the anchorage, they allowed us to complete the lashing and then proceed out at sea. Yeah. So it gives a leeway. Yeah, that it is possible and it is okay, probably accepted under SOLAS that you can do. But then this is not availed of at all. We make sure everything is completed alongside, and ship sails out with all the lashings done properly as per the cargo securing manual. Yeah. So this shall be drawn up to a standard at least equivalent to the guidelines developed by the organization. So there is a standard, there's a way that it is developed, and it has to have all the chapters as mentioned in the organization's guidelines. Yeah, that is what it means. Okay, that's about cargo securing manual. And then what do we have next is the material safety data sheets. Yeah. So this material safety data sheets are specific to the fuel oil or ships carrying oil or oil fuel. Yeah, they are very specific to that, and these are not. We are not. So here in this instance, it doesn't talk about other material safety data sheets for paints or for the chemicals and for rest of the stuff. So this is specific for this one. And what does it say? It's interesting to note. What does it say? Because these days we load all kind of fuels on board, right? I mean, for the engine. So it is low sulfur, high sulfur, MGO, MDO, yeah, ultra low sulfur, yeah, all kind of system. And fitted with scrubbers, we load high sulfur. Or yeah, so we one need to be careful about the last line. It's very interesting to note that. What does it say? The last line. So shall be provided with all these ships, carrying oil or oil fuel shall be provided with material safety data sheets based on the recommendations developed by the organization prior to the loading of such oil as cargo in bulk or bunkering of that oil fuel. So we should make sure from the bunker supplier to provide us with the required material safety data sheets for this for the specific to the bunker that he supplies. Yeah. So that is about the material safety data sheets. Yeah. Now, what is the next one in the topic? The next one in the topic is safety management certificate. So this is again, all of us are well set with the safety management system on board that is um, that is provided on board, and we comply with all aspects of the safety management system. We have records, we have documents, we have procedures. We know what to do in emergency. We know who's the person or show that we can contact. All those things. Okay. So this safety management, and based on that, we have a certificate called the Safety Management Certificate, SMC. And we also need to have a document of compliance by the company as per ISM code. Company which takes care of our SMS on board, which take care of the day-to-day running of the ship. Yeah, so the company has to have an audit, that they have a procedures to give the support that is needed on board, and they have the staff, they have trained people, and they also can monitor that things on board are taken care of, and we function as per the safety management system. Okay, there are audits, and there are inspections involved in this, and also the certifying authority. The class comes for intermediate verification, and or safety management certificate renewal audits. And I will not go deep into the time period for all these things that you're all well aware. So the thing to point out in this is very, very peculiar or sometimes unique. Not all companies do that. So I've seen in a couple of instances on board within the same company. So the class with regard to other certifications of SOLAS and MARPOL and other things are one, and the recognized organization, that is of course the class. Required for the SMC, ISSC, MLC are entirely different. So these three, they are allotted to a different class. I don't know for what reason, but I've seen a number of times, yeah, that this is allotted to a different class. One is GNVGL probably, and the other one is Lloyd's or something. The SMC, ISSC, and the MLC. Maintenance. Yeah. So I will conclude with this. I will not take any more of abrupt ending. Wish you all great sailing and happy holidays. I'll catch up with you on my next one. We will follow through with other things, as in SMC and the document of compliance, and then we go into the ISPS, with regards to continuous synopsis record, ship security plan, etc. Yeah. So I'm going slow, but I hope to finish this soon, and the certificates are following after this, and then. To give you an idea of what is to come, certificates follow. I mean, the main cargo ship safety construction, safety equipment. I will not go into detail of what it contains, or how much is the validity and all. I'll just talk about some peculiarities of each certificate, and then we'll get on to MARPOL as in my write up. Yeah. So thank you, and wish you all a good day and safe sailing. Take care.